Ready.
Okay.
Hi. Oh, did you want to introduce us, Cindi?
Go ahead.
Okay. I'm going to edit this, don't worry. And hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us this week for the ScotWeek podcast. I am Kelsey Deanne. I'm the director of ScotWeek.
And I'm Cindi McIntosh, the president for ScotWeek, and I'm so excited about our guest. Oh my goodness.
Yes. So, hi, Jarvina Routt. How are you?
Hi. I was going to say awesome, but you know, everybody's dealing with the same thing right now. So, you know, hanging in there.
It's very true. So I first met Jarvina at the Seaside Highland Games, where you were a world record holder in the heavy athletic competition. So I'm so excited that you're on here today to talk about this. But first of all, can you please show us your shirt? Because it is amazing.
Oh, yes. Let's get up in my hood. All right, I wear kilt and pro stuff.
Heck yeah!
I love it. So we want you to talk about yourself, but to everyone out there, you have to know that, so with the Scottish Highland Games, both here in the States and around the world, but also in Scotland, we have the Scottish Heavy Athletics. And some people have seen some of these athletics, you know, curling is part of the Olympics. But you are a lady athlete and you are part of the Scottish Athletics. And why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do and how you got into this?
Well, it was very random that I even got into Highland Games. I threw in college. I threw discus and hammer. It was years since I even touched an implement, but apparently I talked about it so much. My husband got wind of it from his best friend, and he was like, "You should give it a try." And I was nervous. I was like, I haven't thrown anything in years. And he literally like dragged me to like my first couple like training sessions, and then dragged me to Seaside in 2015. And everyone was just awesome. Like, so welcoming. And when I took a break to go get lunch, I walked through the festival and people were literally stopping me, and they were like, "Oh my gosh, I saw you throwing that heavy thing." And you know, like, and I felt like I call it like a festival celebrity. Like it was just crazy. And all the love that you feel in the Highland Games world, it's like a family. So that just drew me back, and I've been back ever since, 5 seasons.
Oh my gosh, congratulations. And we were talking a little bit a minute ago about, and I don't mean to like dominate this interview, but I'm so excited to talk to you because, you know, being part of the Scottish Highland Games as well, I'm a competitive bagpipe player, right? So we were talking a little bit about, you know, when you get into this world that, you know, originated in Scotland, it was very much a man's world. The things we do were not acceptable, I should say, for hundreds of years until now. And so what is it like, you know, being a lady athlete in this world, this very competitive world that's dominated, you know, by men?
It's out here in the States, I have to say that it's a blessing because we have all classes available to us, from novice and like I was telling you earlier, I did the women's lightweight class. There's a pro class that we're just building up and getting stronger. But my first year in Scotland, it was eye-opening, and it wasn't so much where it was like, oh, you can't do this or you can't do that because you're a woman. It's just it's tradition. You know, if you get on the field, you throw what the men are throwing, which I understand, but there were some ladies who weren't understanding because they're just like, "What do you mean you don't have women's implements? What do you mean you don't have the women's classes?" And it's like, well, you know, we still have to be respectful of the traditions of the sport, at the same time letting them know we can do it. You know, so yeah. I just waited for my opportunity, and it was at the Dornoch Highland Games where they gave us like a demo and they introduced us, and they were like, you can choose which event you want to show. And I'm like, oh, weight for distance, which is a 14-pound. If you imagine like a mini Olympic hammer with a chain, and we throw it like a discus. We spin twice and So that's like my favorite event. And plus I throw it really far, so it impresses the crowd. And so after that first throw, it was amazing because it got quiet and then the crowd went crazy. And then I think that's when they realized, oh, like women can do this. And there was like little girls that were like coming up to me and they were like, that was awesome. And I just, like, even thinking about it, I get chills because it takes those steps, you know, without stepping over and, you know, being so offended and, you know, oh, it's like, okay, let's, you know, just wait our opportunity and, you know, keep growing the sport, and it's growing and they know. So I'm so excited, and I can't wait for my trip to Scotland next year. So I'm just ready.
Oh.
Well, I got chills as you were telling that story too. That is, oh my goodness, I can't imagine that feeling of elation. It's amazing. Oh
yeah.
gosh. And when and where and what are you going to Scotland for next year?
The plan is to make it back to the May Games. I went in 2018 with a team. We were the first team who introduced adaptive athletes in Scotland. So yeah, wow. We have an athlete throwing from a wheelchair, a couple of W amputees, one single leg amputee, and eventually it spread to some of the Invictus athletes in the UK. And I'm still like connected with a lot of those athletes. They have like a practice group called Wounded Highlanders. Check those guys out because they work so hard and it's just exciting. But it's a game, it's way up top north in John O'Groats. And it actually started with Prince Charles's grandmother. And as she got older, she made him chieftain. And so he, you know, he was there and I got to meet him, and he was also impressed by my throws, which was like, I don't, it was like charming. And there's this goofy picture of me smiling really hard.
That's so cool. But that is a wonderful thing that you are involved with Invictus and that you took place and helped with that first, in 2018, with that first display. And I don't know if you know this, but we heard through the British consul that actually Prince Harry, who's part of Invictus and helped with that, has just moved to Los Angeles with his young family. So I wonder if there might be an opportunity to have Invictus and something like that with what it is you guys did over there to happen here now.
That would be absolutely amazing. A group that just started, his name is Matt Hall, and the group is called Broken Caber, and it's keeping track of all the adaptive athletes and the records that they're hitting. And just like, you know, I was saying that the women are growing, you know, our classes, our professional classes, the same thing. Matt is trying to do that for the adaptive athletes, you know, in the States and, you know, across the pond, as they say. So it will be amazing to get something started out here, definitely.
Absolutely. And I know, I mean, Cindi and I feel like we're telepathic sometimes. I'm just gonna say it. Cindi and I would love to help out with that if we can with ScotWeek. And also, is Matt Hall, where is he based? Is he in Los Angeles? And how do people contact him?
He is actually, Matt, I'm sorry if I get this wrong. He is in Virginia.
Okay.
He's in Virginia, but he's traveled out here before. He threw at the Costa Mesa Games a couple of years ago. That's where I first met him, and he got me on that team to join them to go to Scotland. So he would definitely be up for it. You can find him on Instagram, on Facebook. You can either find his personal page, Matt Hall, or you can look into Broken Caber, which is the organization that he just started.
Awesome.
Wow, that's wonderful. Maybe we can put links down below here as well, so that people can find a connect and be supportive.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And tell us about your training. So where do you train, and how often, and what is that like?
Before the pandemic started, I trained at East Coast, West Coast, and Costa Mesa. my coach is Scott Bringle, and I also train strongman at the same time. So that's the reason why I couldn't do lightweight anymore, because I was building so much muscle. I'm 5'9", so being, with muscle on me, there was no way. So yeah, so we're out in Costa Mesa. I also train on my own, and then I throw at least, when I'm in season, I try to throw at least twice a week. So either on my own or once a week with the group, so that way I can get feedback and help.
Wow.
How are you doing this right now? Are you able to still train to some degree in your own where you're living, or how are you handling your body right now and trying to keep it? Do you have to try to keep it conditioned, and how is that working out?
Definitely. I feel really blessed because I haven't really had to take a break from training at all. My garage used to be my gym before I discovered East Coast, West Coast. So when this all happened, I went in my new garage, which was an absolute mess. So gotta say, I love my husband, Stanley. I love you. Thank you for fixing up our garage, because that's just where I go now. I'm out there every day, and throwing is a little bit more difficult. I live in the city of Buena Park, and we're doing a good job of social distancing, and there's not a lot of crowds at the park, but I still just feel a little uneasy. Like, I just don't want anyone kind of impeding on my space. So I've just been doing a lot of throwing drills, a lot of lifting, staying strong, and it's hard to feel motivated, but I'm just pushing forward, just trying to, steam ahead. What I think of is the day that I get to put my kilt on again, the day that I'm going to be, sitting, staring. I always do this before each games. I get there kind of early, and we get our spot, and I just sit and I look at the field and visualize what I'm going to do that day. And then I get to throw on my kilt, and it's a thing that I do. So that's what I keep in mind. Like, okay, we're going to do this again. It's not over. We're in a break right now. There's bigger things happening. There's bigger things than me getting to do my hobby. But that's the visual that's keeping me motivated.
Yeah. I'm right there with you. Usually I'm competing right now and throughout the year, and it's very difficult because we're not dressing up, we're not going out and doing that, and we still have to try to figure out how we do our hobby at home, and that's not easy, and that disconnect feels a little uneasy. So I completely understand what you're going through with that. And I don't know if is there some way you could go online with your group of people, or you could teach classes or something maybe online and connect with the people you were training with, or have you guys tried doing something like that, or consider?
Not really training, but we definitely have been messaging each other a lot, because also in Highland Games, the people I just met in the past 5 years have become some of my closest, best friends. So it's more just I need you guys. I miss you guys. I love you guys. Tonight we're going to get on Zoom and just, talk about nothing and everything, and and just feel connected. It's important because we're all in this, people would consider it a crazy hobby. We're out there flipping trees and, throwing heavy weights around. So to be able to just relate and talk about, training or lack thereof. And like I said, even though you don't feel really motivated, we're trying to keep each other lifted and, encouraged to, even if you don't feel like lifting that day, or you just feel it's okay. We're going through a pandemic. It's fine. It's okay to feel that way. But at the same time, knowing that we're, here supporting each other.
That's wonderful and inspirational. So we all just have to remember that we're all in this together, and we're going to come out the other side and be able to be around each other again, hopefully sooner than later. And I did hear, I haven't heard in the last couple of days, but the games up north, Pleasanton Highland Games, has not canceled yet. So Highland games that haven't canceled that I'm just kind of waiting, like, oh, I don't
You're
know.
kind of like, all your fingers crossed. Yeah. And
No,
Pleasanton's a big one. Pleasanton is, I've went the past 3 seasons, and every season I don't take it for granted. I just feel just very blessed and honored to be able to be on that field and down on the racetrack when, everything comes to a close. I'm sure, were you there last year as a?
yeah, I was. I'm there every year competing with my band and running around. I've been going for 22 years now, I believe. I have not missed one of the Pleasanton Highland, because it's kind of like the premier competition, I feel like,
Yeah.
for all of
Yeah.
us on the coast. And so, yeah, and actually that's where I met one of our board members. Graham McTavish was there. I don't know if you were there about 3 years ago when it was 100. I played pipes for Graham in 116 degrees outside.
Yes, that was my first year. Oh man,
That was insane. It's never been so hot.
that was the hottest games I've ever, even my years of doing track and field, that was the hottest day of competition. But it was also just, it was amazing. It was Pleasanton to see the U.S. Marines come out, and I love it. It leaves me like lost for words, especially seeing just the closing ceremony and all the bands coming together. Like, just thinking about it gives me chills. All the pipes coming together.
I know it's a large group of pipers and drummers, probably the largest that I ever am part of out on that field. And that's crazy being out there. And you're absolutely right, on that field in that huge grandstand. It's really, really super cool. And hopefully we'll be back there. If not this year, I know that they're trying to, they pride themselves on 155 years of straight games every year and not having to cancel for any reason. Even when there's been like the Great Fire, they always talk about that, of San Francisco, they still held the games. So I think they'd really like to try, but who knows what'll happen with that. And hopefully, because the fairgrounds are currently closed and they haven't made a final decision, I'm just reading. So we'll see. Yeah. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see. And I know that Seaside being so far in October, that might be the last finale. Don't know.
It might be. I was talking with them, and so I was talking with the family that created the Seaside Highland Games, the Lowrys, and we were talking about how we might be able to do this. If people are able to, at that point in time, get together, we were talking about different ways that we still might be able to pull that off. So I know that they're still making considerations and holding out hope that if we can, we will be able to do it in some way, shape, or form. Maybe not to the same level and degree as we have in the past, but so we're still holding out hope. So fingers crossed. And Kelsey just finished a website for the Seaside Games.
Yeah, new website up on Seaside. So our webmaster for Seaside, he just has a lot going on. So I stepped up to the plate and taught myself web design, basically.
Wow.
Did a fabulous job.
Oh, thanks. It's a lot of fun. It's colorful, so hopefully it goes well. But I just wanted to go back. So when you went to Scotland, was that your first time to Scotland, or had you been before?
2018 was my first time. Yeah.
Oh, great. So where did you go? All over Scotland, or did you go to specific places, or what was that like?
In 2018, I didn't go to as many places because I was with a team. We stayed in Inverness, and our plan was there and then travel up to Wick because that's where our games were held. But I guess word traveled that there was a team from the U.S. there, so we started getting calls, and we ended up going to Dornoch. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Yeah. I don't say it as great as they say it, and Killen. So both of those games I didn't get to like compete in a full games. Killen, My buddy, Matt Han, he got to throw. He's a professional that throws here. He's located on the East Coast. Great guy. Hi, Matt. And where else did we go? That's pretty much it. So we were kind of just like, okay, we're here for business. Boom, boom, there. But the following year, last year, it was just my husband and I traveling, and he actually had to do like a turnaround trip, if you can believe it, to Scotland. So he got there Thursday in time to see me, or actually go with me to the pre-games dinner and celebration on Friday, see me compete Saturday, and then he left Sunday. So I was like, all right, next year it is your trip, you plan it, and boy did he plan it. So we stayed in Inverness. We had the most amazing time because we got there and we were so tired, fell asleep. We were like, let's take a nap. You know, that like, oh, let's take a quick nap. It's not a quick nap.
Yes.
So we woke up like a couple hours later and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, what are we going to do? So we ended up going to a pub and talking to everyone. Everyone's nice. No, you know, I love my country, but oh my gosh, everyone's just nice. Like, you don't go to a bar out here and everyone's just like, well, how are you? You know, so they were talking to us, and I started telling them that I do Highland Games, and they were like, what? Like, they started freaking out, and I showed them like videos, and they were like, shut the around.
Yeah.
It was just like the most amazing time, and it was like it was like my first. I felt like, even though we did a lot the year before, that just felt like, oh man, like we're in it. This is so like genuine. And so the next day we felt great. You know? And had a long drive to Isle of Skye because our favorite Scotch is Talisker. So we got a nice, tour of the distillery, and we were from there. Then we went all the way up to Jarvina Routt and got to stay in Wick with our friends. We feel like we have family up there because we got close to so many people. Got to go to the dinner gathering, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so awesome. That's
yeah.
Yeah.
You do some of the best things. In Jarvina Routt, you can get the ferry to go out to the Orkneys. I know that area very well. My family's from the Inverness area, just south of Inverness. So that's very cool.
Oh, nice.
What was your favorite?
Place or?
Yeah, did you have it like a favorite little town or favorite place or favorite scenery?
I can't put it into words, like a favorite place, because even there was a couple of times where we got lost and we weren't even mad about it. Like we got lost. Like I think the first time I got us lost because I went off of like a pin drop of my picture from the previous year, and it was so off. It was so far. It was nowhere near Jarvina Routt. But the drive was so beautiful, and we were seeing stuff that was, you know, kind of off grid. It wasn't like an area we shouldn't even been in. There was roads and stuff, but it's like, oh, these are people's like farms, like in the middle of nothing that we're driving by. But it was just so gorgeous and beautiful. Like we didn't complain. We just ended up at our spots. But as far as like feeling like just comfortable and having like everything in one spot was downtown Inverness. Like I just loved it. I mean, everyone was, even though it was, I guess, fast paced, everyone was so nice. That's what gets me, because I walk around, I'm always like smiling. Like even up on the field, if I'm not in the middle of the throw, I'm just like this or laughing about something. So to see everyone just so, you know, friendly and just about, and everything just felt like so free out there. And I tell everyone, if I can live anywhere else, I'm moving to Scotland.
Wonderful. I know that people are so friendly. I love hearing about people going for the first time and what your experience is, because I absolutely love it. I love it so much. I feel the same way. I'd love to live over there. Maybe I kind of do. As times I go anyway. That's fantastic. And so you're going to go back and compete next year on your trip as well. Is that correct? You'll be doing some competitions. And then how do people find you and follow your journey and kind of sharing your experience and watch how you're competing and where you're going to be? How do people find you?
I'm on Instagram. I'm more active on Instagram, but I am on Facebook as well. On my Instagram handle is Routt Thrower. I realized when I made it like a couple of years back, I'm just like, oh, I'm just gonna make a throwers account, and I just picked, J. But my name is Jarvina. So if you type in Jarvina on Facebook, you'll be able to find my page. Routt Thrower on Instagram. I post a lot of my training, post a lot of throwing. Now that we're, in quarantine, I'm trying to post more like drills and just the stuff that I do on a regular, just to like help. Like some people be like, oh, like I didn't realize, that's a good drill to do for the stone throw, or oh, that's, a good cue that I didn't know that I was supposed to be doing. And also just letting it be known, like, you can do this. Anytime people are like, oh, that's so cool, I wish I can do that. I'm like, you can. Where are you located? I'll get you, connected with someone. It really doesn't matter if you've thrown before or not. And that's the beauty of Highland Games. It's yes, you want to do great and you want to throw as far as you can, but more importantly, do not compare yourself to the next person. You can celebrate your own PRs. I tell people that at every games or even at practice. Celebrate your victories. I don't care if it's, from 17 feet to 20 feet. And it's like, oh, well, that person's throwing 30. Okay, but you just improved by this many feet, So it's awesome. Anybody can do it. Anyone and everyone.
And girls too. And girls can do it too. It's fantastic.
Absolutely. Great. Well, is there anything else that you wish to share or let people know about Jarvina?
Well, I mean, I throw and I lift stuff. Another beauty of Highland Games and just Scottish culture is heavy athletics. It's developed so much. Highland Games started the track and field throws, the Olympic hammer, shot put, discus, like that. It came from Highland Games. And the same thing when strongman, you see them pick up the Atlas stones, stone lifting. That is, Scottish culture, and it's amazing. And I've become very addicted to stone loading and stone lifting and that. And so my dream, well, I don't want to say dream, I would say goal, is to eventually go on a stone lifting tour, the Manhood Stones.
Wow.
What is that exactly?
Wow.
What is that exactly? A tour of, what was it?
The Manhood Stones?
I don't know what that is.
Oh.
So like the Ember Stone?
No.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so Donald Denny. So the Denny stones.
Yeah.
No. I'm a Yank. I don't know. Sorry.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I really don't want to get this wrong because I don't want to embarrass myself or shame.
Oh, you
myself.
will.
But oh my goodness, now I'm having a blank. Now I'm all nervous.
The lifting stones, it was a common way for people to test their strength against others through most of recorded history. So there's many of the manhood stones people are still trying and test their strength against all around the world. So they're located all over, and it's a thing that's been going on for a long time. It's between 260 and 280 pounds, which
oh my gosh.
Incredible.
You can lift that, Jarvina. You can lift 260 pounds.
Yes. That's pretty, yeah. want to go after the Inverstone. So it's 265 pounds. I didn't get to lift it last year just because I know you have to like sign up before you can lift anything at the Demi Gathering. But I got to watch Donna Moore, who is world's strongest woman. She lifted it with ease, and I'm like, okay, I want to do that. I'm going to do that. And there's the stones all through Scotland. I'm actually reading a book on it right now, and I'm getting very excited because I'm like, I want to go to all these places and do it.
Be so careful. Oh my goodness. I mean, how wonderful. What a wonderful thing. But a lot of them are very smooth and they're hard to grip them. I can only imagine, you know, if it slipped and fell.
Well, the thing about natural stones is that's what's exciting about it. They're not all the same. So some are you know, a little bit more grippy, a little bit more, I guess you'll say like granite to it. Depending on the area, depending on the time you go, some can be completely, you know, covered in just the dew of what's, you know, how the weather is on the grass. But it's studying, it's training, and it's like knowing how to tempt them. In this, the book that I'm going through, I'm like, okay, I have a plan, got a plan, and I'm going to make it happen.
Oh my goodness. Well, when you decide to do that, it would be not to plant a, you know, an idea, but it would be exciting to have like maybe live Instagram watching you do, you know, lift these stones and on your journey. It would be fun. You would have, yeah, following you, we would watch and everybody could watch and be like, there she is, Jarvina's there. There she is. Inverstone's by the, I'm just reading it right now, by the Dee River.
Mm-hmm.
That particular one. How fun. What a fun goal to have. I can't wait for you to do this, and I can't wait to watch. I hope we get to watch and hear all about it.
Yes.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's just about planning out, you know, the trip and making it happen around so much that I already want to do. So I'll shoot for the next couple of years. More than likely, I'll get it.
Very fun. Well, we are looking forward to following you and following your hobby and your journey. And we're so excited to watch and see what you do in the future. And congratulations on your wins in the past and for getting into this fun world of Scottish Highland Games and traveling to Scotland. And thank you for being here with us today and telling us a little bit about you and your story. It's fascinating, and we're so excited and so honored to have you on. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jarvina. We will see you at the next Highland Games event. I'm so excited for you.
Oh, thank you.
I can't wait. And we'll see you soon, hopefully very soon.
Indeed.
Okay. Bye for now.
Bye, guys.